Anytime a CEO says they know what people think or claims to be speaking for others, specifically their employees, especially their employees or their customer base, they're f***ing lying.
Yep.
I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up.
It would help if I have this on. Tech bros fit many categories: idiot, dumbass, complete fool, fake genius, group which should be excluded from participation in any incident involving money, the modern day scam artist, and proof that no glow up can remove the stain of being an alien. Probably some good qualities in there, but generally speaking, those are more for tech guys rather than tech bros. And even then, tech guys are human and do some pretty stupid, awful stuff.
Okay. All right. Good talk, Coach. Thanks.
But tech bros are the movers and shakers, so to speak, and they are the ones which have been exploiting every aspect of your life in order to manipulate you and make you move in one direction, their direction, which if you didn't know what their direction was, quite simply, it's worshiping them as gods.
Hear me out. No.
Or worshiping AI. No, seriously, they want you to worship AI. I'm not kidding. They want you to worship fucking AI as a god.
Well, pardon me, young man, and excuse the shit out of my goddamn French.
The co-founder of Waymo and some other autonomous driving companies, which have since been sold literally, wants you to fucking worship AI. He has created a whole religion on this situation, which, let me know if you want me to do a video on that down in the comments. I will hate you for it, but I will do it. I'm not a proponent of tossing people into volcanoes, but I mean, who would disagree that isn't their family or friends of these assholes that they should be tossed into a volcano? I can't imagine anyone considering themselves a human to disagree with that sentiment. And considering his views, the circle of what defines as a family or a friend, well, it will be countable on one hand the moment we take away his money.
I just don't think at this age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life. I don't have the will.
So their disagreement, I'd say, wouldn't even matter. Maybe he will meet his AI maker in the afterlife, but in this realm, he doesn't belong. But their delusions don't just stop at religion. They have spread everywhere, as technology often does once it reaches a next innovation point. Bill Gates wants a 2-day work week while also attempting to exploit African nations and keep Trump from releasing that list that he is possibly on. Allegedly. By the way, that 2-day work week is because he wants AI to take most of the load, which is fine until you realize he is doing it so AI will take your job, as it's already doing in many industries, and leave you completely ass out. No job, no point in living, nothing. Just a consumer, which is hard to do when you don't have a job. None of this makes sense. And it's confusing because tech bros often talk about declining birth rates and being a man and shit. But birth rates will literally plummet to extinction level if no one has a job to afford care for a baby, because we're in a society that still requires you to have money to live. It'd be different if they were doing this and we were in Star Trek land, where money is not a factor. But we aren't in Star Trek land. Birth rates will literally plummet to extinction level if no one has a job to afford care for a baby. Either people will erupt and slaughter the wealthy, or we will just say to them, have fun with our final breaths free from them and go extinct. The poor person, the middle class person, just leaving the rich. And their quickly inbred numbers will be overwhelmed by AI and they will be replaced, in which case, honestly nice. It's the only good thing that comes out of the situation.
That's kind of messed up.
Don't judge me for, dreaming about tech bro and wealthy bloodlines eventually becoming nothing but biomatter for their own creations.
No, it's not fair.
Them kids, they're not here. So I can talk shit about them as much as I want until they are born. Anyways, let's get into today's article, which is on Sam Altman, which is what I imagine every hipster's evolution eventually folds into if they go a little too far right from liberal, but refuse to de-educate to fit the mold of the idiot far right. Sam Altman is from Chicago, Illinois, to which I say, Chirac, come get your mans. Okay? He dropped out of Stanford and started a social media company which eventually sold for $43.4 million after not establishing a strong enough user base to remain open. And from there, he did the usual tech overlord CEO douchebag path of investing and divesting, selling and promising till the venture capital ran out. Sometimes hits, usually though, misses. All tech bullshit trying to find a way to exploit and remove the human element, or exploit the human element. Until 2015, when Altman got together with the League of Extraordinary Assholes, composed of Greg Brockman, Elon Musk, Jessica Livingston, Peter Thiel, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Infosci, or whatever their name is, and YC Research to launch OpenAI.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
As a non-profit, which at this point it just literally means nothing unless it's local. Just anyone can open a non-profit. A baby could do it, okay? It means nothing. Altman claimed initially that OpenAI wants to essentially promote AI safety and prevent any risk to humanity from AI while also ensuring humanity gets the benefit.
That's some old bullshit.
Not a direct quote, but how nice of an ideal, one would say. The primary thing OpenAI has done is chatgpt, aka YouTuber apology generator, aka you sucked at law school but your parents helped you suspiciously pass the bar, aka you really refuse to use a search engine for information even though you are on one watching this video right now, aka you suck overall at being a human and should go see a therapist and touch grass, which ChatGPT is a generative artificial intelligence chatbot, which explains all those things. You type in a prompt of what you want and it burns down like half the trees in the rainforest to provide you a response, which is great. We're murdering the planet so a fucking 12th grader can write a paper.
It's over. We are screwed.
Genuinely don't understand us as a species, and I don't think aliens do either. It's probably why they don't invade, because they're just like, look, they don't look like a threat, but also something's off. But in order to give you this response, it generatively learns off of other people's work, meaning it's showing you things a human did but summarizing it, even though many search results in the first paragraph or so, and with a proper headline will explain pretty well, you know, what you're looking for and how to do things. And there's countless YouTube videos on how to do, there's YouTube videos on how to make a pencil. It's not that hard. Invest a tiny little bit in something if you really, really want it. But you know, whatever. Shortening attention spans, idiots growing around the world, and people just in general unable to talk to each other. It's the standard fare. We understand why these things are happening. Sam Altman helped make that monster and he released it into the world. So as far as I'm concerned, he is the same as the black dude who created Skynet, but unlike that black dude who eventually tried to make it right by sacrificing himself, Sam Altman doesn't, you know, regret it.
What an asshole!
Now that you have a bit of his backstory, let's get into the article in which he claims that AI is about to create an entirely new sphere of job type.
Finally!
And let me be very clear. All these tech bros are allegedly on crack or ketamine or worse, bath salts, I don't know, Florida level shit, as well as committed to the idea that God himself was formed from their shit with their immense delusional thoughts. And you will see what I mean with such blasphemy in a moment. So this article is by Fortune. OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman says in 10 years time, college graduates will be working some completely new, exciting, super well paid job in space, which again, like I said, pretty obvious headliner title that lets me know that this guy, Sam Altman, is a fucking idiot. But okay, let's give him a fair chance. With Gen Z facing existential career crisis, billionaire OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says that in just 10 years, college grads will be exploring the solar system, jobs that will reel in sky-high salaries. The tech leader even says he's envious of young people because our early career jobs will look boring by comparison. Okay, Go on. You're psychotic, but go on. As AI reshapes the workforce, many college
you could.
Wow. Dyslexia. As AI reshapes the workforce, many Gen Z college graduates are finding out the hard way that their degrees don't guarantee a smooth career launch. Now, even OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, one of Silicon Valley's biggest leaders driving the AI revolution, which let me go ahead and say this. If someone says you're a big part of Silicon Valley, to me at this point, that just lets me know either A, you're a scammer, B, you're an asshole, or C, you're just generally as close to Hitler without being him as a human being could possibly be.
Well, shit.
Or D, all of the above. It's usually D, but you know, I'm willing to give each person their chance. Is admitting the elephant in the room is true. AI will wipe out some jobs entirely. It's not the elephant in the room. It's literally the elephant that destroyed the whole fucking house. We know this. That's why people don't like artificial intelligence, is because it removes the human element from human things. However, the tech billionaire insists the coming decade could be the most exciting time in history to start a career, especially for anyone who's ever dreamed of working in space. I haven't, so most people haven't, actually. I don't count dreams you have as a kid. Until you're like 13 or 14, all of your dreams really are kind of fucking based in stupidity. There's no real understanding of the world. So, you know, some kid who is really dog shit at math, and it's clear, okay, they hate math, but they're really, really good at writing. Space is out of the option, okay? It's not there, okay? If you don't have a slight love of math by like 5th grade, space is relatively a long shot, even with AI's help, okay? Not only will they be reeling in sky-high salaries, but Altman says they'll also be feeling so bad for you and I that we had to do this really boring, old work, and everything is just better. To which my response would be, okay, if you know, 30 years from now, some kid comes up to me and it's just like, how did it feel to work at movie theater? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do humanity a favor, and that kid will disappear. Okay, I'm just go ahead and say it right now. Probably have a future as a respect-based serial killer.
Go directly to jail.
It sounds awful now that I think about it. Okay, I'll just smack him. How's that? And I don't mean like a simple smack. I mean smack him with a fucking pan. In 2035, that graduating college student, if they still go to college at all, could very well be leaving on a mission to explore the solar system on a spaceship in some completely new, exciting, super well-paid, super interesting job. Okay. If you want to send the kid who's so stupid they can't even get a GED into space, fuck it. Go ahead, dude. It's one more person out of the gene pool that probably should not be there, if I'm being honest. Though it's unclear how widespread space exploration will expand in the coming years, considering NASA's broad goal of getting to Mars in the 2030s not happening. Have you seen the way the world currently is? There is not going to be a man on Mars in the 2030s. Aerospace engineers are growing faster than the national average of all jobs, according to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yeah, we can't really inflate that shit with SpaceX numbers. I'm sorry, because I don't believe Elon. And they bring home an envy-inducing annual paycheck of over $130,000. Other tech pioneers have AI predictions that are more grounded on Earth, but still alluring to workers. For example, billionaire Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, allegedly, Epstein friend, allegedly, said earlier this year that the technology might dramatically reduce the length of the work week, thanks to humans no longer being needed for most things. Told ya, they want to get rid of ya. Oh, but they just want to get rid of you in the workplace only, and then they're gonna lead us to Star Trek. No, the fuck, they are not. These people do not intend to create some fucking utopia for everyone. The utopia is only for those who can afford it. They are capitalists. Their religion is green, and maybe AI.
I'm God.
What will jobs be like? Should we just work like 2 or 3 days a week? The tech billionaire told Jimmy Fallon on Tonight Show earlier this week. Which, can the Tonight Show stop having idiots and giving them a platform, okay? Belittle them, shit talk them. You could have a social idiot, like you could have someone that's a social media idiot on and whatnot, but don't give a platform to fucking billionaire idiots. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. It's like the dick rubbing of the billionaire class is annoying. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang echoed that AI has already given his workers superhuman skills. No, the fuck it hasn't. Many of those people were complaining when you let them go because of AI bullshit. Something that will only increase as the technology advances. Like, let me just say this real quickly. I know every sentence I'm saying something, but anytime a CEO says they know what people think or claims to be speaking for others, specifically their employees, especially their employees or their customer base, they're fucking lying.
Yep.
Okay? Everything they said is a fucking lie. It just is. These CEOs and shit, they couldn't fucking read Sunday from fucking Saturday, alright? So, they're lying. I'm surrounded by superhuman people and super intelligence from my perspective because they are the best in the world at what they do. And they do what they do way better than I can do it. And I'm surrounded by thousands of them, yet it never one day caused me to think all of a sudden I'm no longer necessary.
What?
Because you're the fucking You're the decision maker, you fucking idiot. You're the fire, not other way around. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. I hate these people. While Altman admitted that his crystal ball remains foggy and that the true direction of AI is unclear, he is actually envious of Gen Z professionals starting off their careers. If I were 22 right now and graduating college, I would feel like the luckiest kid in all of history. Well, congrats to you, Sam Altman, the motherfucker who has failed upwards and had all the luck in the world to land in the right places. Probably came from a wealthy family too, I'm pretty sure. And he's like, I didn't come from super wealthy. My family didn't have millions and millions of dollars. If your family had a net worth at one point of $1 million while you were a child, at some point your family was wealthy. Whether that million is gathered illegally or legally, your family was wealthy at some point. And I don't mean like they had a net worth of $1 million for a day. Okay, I'm not an idiot. All right, dad won blackjack and then proceeded to lose it all on black. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you had $1 million for at least for 6 months. You more or less can entirely turn your life perspectives around. Even if after that 6 months, that $1 million is no longer your set standard, it has completely altered your fucking life. So if you had $1 million for at least 6 months and you were just the kid, you weren't even the decision maker, you had a track history of wealth experience. And considering the time period in which this guy was a kid, I mean, to lose $1 million rapidly and just completely fall out is a relatively low probability. So I'm pretty sure this kid came from a wealthy family. Pretty sure Altman came from a wealthy family. Just my thoughts. Haven't really looked that much into his childhood, but I'm pretty sure he came from a wealthy family. AI will make one-person billion-dollar companies. After last week's launch of the latest OpenAI model, GPT-5, Altman declared that the world has access to technology equivalent to the team of PhD-level experts right in their pocket. Okay. Here's my response to that. The next surgery Sam Altman has, or the next time he gets sick, do not go to a doctor. Don't call 911. And same for any of the champions of chatgpt. Don't go to any medical provider. Do not enter yourself into the healthcare system. You have it right in your pocket. Use chatgpt. Bleeding out from a gunshot wound? Use chatgpt. Experiencing a heart attack? Use chatgpt. Suffering a stroke? Use chatgpt. Recently in a car accident and you're confused because your shin bone is pointed outside of your skin directly at your dashboard? ChatGPT it. Don't call 911. ChatGPT it. You got a doctor in your pocket.
So sad. Death is so sad. Death is so sad.
And as a result, the CEO said it will be easier than ever for one person to create a business that used to take hundreds of people. All it takes is coming up with a great idea and mastering AI tools. Yeah, if your company literally does not produce a physical fucking product, if it's solely a product on the internet, it might work, but even then, you likely wouldn't be able to scale without human involvement because you would need server space, which would be put together by humans. Even if robots play a role in that, those robots at some point down the line will have to have been made by humans. It is a system that cannot exist without humans. It is probably possible now to start a company that is a one-person company that will go on to be worth more than $1 billion, and more importantly than that, deliver an amazing product and service to the world. And that is like a crazy thing. I think he did this interview freshly off of a fucking line. There's no way.
You're able to do drugs during the day and still function, still do your job.
How the fuck else would you do this job? Cocaine and hookers, my friend.
There's no way he truly believes this. He did this interview freshly off a line. Granted, just because he doesn't truly believe it does not mean he's playing into the system himself, just because it's the only way he can remain comfortable with his billions and billions of dollars. Billionaire Mark Cuban has gone even further. God, come on, Mark. I don't hate Mark or anything, but I also don't dislike him. He's been a relatively he's a billionaire, so there's a lot of exploitation he's done, but he's been a relatively kind of neutral billionaire, and now he's been steadily doing that just, I'm concerned. Has gone even further with his prediction, saying that AI could give Elon Musk. Dyslexia is a powerful thing. Just want you all to know. Elon Musk a run for his money as the world's richest person. We haven't seen the best or the craziest of what AI is going to be able to do, Cuban told the High Performance podcast earlier this summer. Oh, he said the shit on the podcast. He was just saying shit and hoping it's clippable. I still don't like him, but I also still don't hate him. He's saying shit to keep a social spirit because he no longer owns the Dallas Mavericks. He's just allowed to sit courtside. Billionaires just gotta kind of learn to shut the fuck up, if I'm being honest with you.
I repeat.
Billionaires just gotta kind of learn to shut the fuck up, if I'm being honest with you. And not only do I think it'll create, let's go back to it actually.
Okay.
Billionaires used to shut the fuck up for the most part. The rich people of the world usually used to shut the fuck. This is why they created gated fucking communities. So they didn't have to interact with normal everyday society. And we didn't have to interact with them, even in our struggles. And generally speaking, it was an agreed upon thing, during the Industrial Revolution. Granted, even though it was very fucking dog shit because there wasn't regulations and stuff, but it was generally agreed upon that, at least we get to live our lives the way we fucking want without bullshit societal restrictions we place on ourselves because we're fucking idiots and we're bored because we're rich as fuck and do nothing all day. So we have to create some kind of structure to give a purpose to our lives because we couldn't fucking otherwise find out who we are because we're generally fucking awful people without fucking a drive or purpose or spirit of commitment, and therefore we must create one out of fucking thin air, which is the entire atmosphere of rich people. I don't know if you've ever noticed, 99.9% of the shit rich people do is solely for the purpose of creating this bullshit image that if they really had the freedom, wouldn't even be who the fuck they were.
Okay, bud, let's take about 20% off over there, eh?
But they do this other bullshit. That's why, rich kids video game themselves and, all the time because they have to fit this strict, unnecessary bullshit societal structure because they are rich. It's so stupid. And not only do I think it'll create a trillionaire, okay, bro. Mark Cuban was also off the line too.
Allegedly.
But it could just be one dude in the basement. That's how crazy it could be. Yeah, that sounds like one dude that's gonna go to jail because usually one dude in a basement making money online generally leads towards some Jared Fogle type stuff or some crypto scammy shit. This article is stupid and taught me nothing about AI to change my opinion about the people involved with it or the things involved with it or the delusion that is just involved with this entire product. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand how the blinders are so strong that these idiots cannot see it won't go this way. Okay, people despise technology more and more these days, especially tech, which claims to eventually be able to replace humans. I mean, artists with any real sense of the idea of what an artist is, as well as respect for their medium, generally already fucking on a base degree hate the fuck out of AI. And, I'm prime example. I mean, is this art, these YouTube videos I make? You could say no, sure, subjectively. But generally speaking, this is art. Is it good art? Not necessarily. No. To me, maybe. Enough for a subscribe?
Definitely.
But, you know, it's this shit is garbage. AI is awful, and it's training off of shit people do. Other people created. Like, it's training off of stuff humans created. It's so bullshit. I've made videos on this before. And if a regular person sat down and, you know, really listen to these tech assholes and their points and their theories and their view on the world and their future outlook, and just took like a week to think it over, okay, because I know critical thought these days requires a download speed, and it seems like everybody with certain things prefers to operate on, like, I don't know, a fucking old ass modem. Okay, shit's loading up and you're hearing the freaking AOL dial tone noise. But if they took their time and actually thought about, you know, this whole thing and thought about it to themselves, you know, they would probably come to the conclusion that we need to
Stop doing this!
And that is just based on their delusional brain dead thoughts about the future alone. Like, AI religion, if not cult-like, why cult-shaped? Or the 2-day work week, because AI will replace you. If not dirtbag asshole who wants to limit pay and experiment on Africans, who is also allegedly on Epstein list. Why dirtbag asshole who wants to limit pay and experiment on Africans, who is also allegedly on an Epstein list shape?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Humans will be busy working in space and companies will exist with one employee making billions. If not fake liberal former hipster dick nugget, why fake liberal former hipster dick nugget shaped? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Would you feel if you were graduating at 22 that you were the luckiest kid in the world because you were graduating and starting your one-man billion-dollar company? Or would you just prefer to be one of the delusional tech bros hooked on some crazy drug and spouting nonsense out the mouth but being taken serious because you pretty much got lucky and were born to the right family in the right time? Or maybe you'd like to help me pick a volcano. I've been looking and currently there are a lot of pretty active options for us. But what would be their response if like AI did reach godhood and told them to go into the volcano? Do they still do it, or like do these tech bros realize that like they've created a monster and then they finally shout in their final moments before the robots toss them into the volcano?
What have I done?